Humankind has been reaching for the stars since the dawn of time, with an unrelenting determination to venture one step further. Now, it's time to set our sights on the next frontier. Welcome to the HP Mars Home Planet, powered by NVIDIA. An opportunity for problem solvers, futurists, and dreamers to build a city for 1 million humans. A place to call home. Our collective vision will be presented to the world in 2018 in virtual reality as a blueprint for the future. Join HP and NVIDIA as we journey further than ever before and together reinvent life on Mars.
Please welcome a man who holds 10 patents and initiated the HackRod project, Autodesk Visiting Research Fellow, Mickey McManus.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. Are you guys ready for a design slam? All right, practice the noise making, because what we're going to do is you are going to actually be the judges. And I'll show you how that works. When I say 3, 2, 1 after people have presented, you will have to make noise. Can you guys make noise? Okay, come on, try one more time. Make noise. 3, 2, 1, go. Still not that great. Okay, you'll have time to practice. So design slams are kind of fun. The idea here is that we're going to have some competitors up here, and they're going to be competing in time trials to do stuff incredibly fast, to try to go head-to-head and do some amazing things. We're going to do 3 different rounds, so that's going to be fun. One of them is using Dynamo, one of our products from Autodesk. One of them is going to use Infraworks, and one of them is going to use Fusion. So it'll be kind of fun. But first of all, I'd like to just give a shout-out to HP. So HP has sponsored this whole thing. Home Planet is something that's pretty amazing. It's a worldwide competition to think about living on Mars. And so HP has graciously given us like the amazing workstations that are here, the prizes, and have really been supportive all the way along here. So big shout out to HP as a sponsor. Let's give them a round of applause. Let me give you a little sense of how this is going to work. We're gonna bring up the first challenge. They're going to have some time to compete. There are sometimes Autodeskers competing against students, competing against people in professions and things like that. Then we're going to watch them. It's kind of like Iron Chef. And then we're going to have them present to you, and you award the prize. So that'll be kind of fun. The first design slam we're going to do is Dynamo. And it'll be fun to watch that. Dynamo is this sort of visual, computational, algorithmic programming thing that works with a whole bunch of different products and helps you build sort of algorithmic geometry and things like that. So let me give you a sense of what they're going to win if they succeed in winning this. So the competitor that wins, or the competitive team that wins, is actually going to get a brand new HP Z2 Mini, which is this like micro workstation that's been designed for CAD. What's fun about this, it's like 10% of the volume of a normal workstation, but it has full-on NVIDIA graphics, and it's been designed for CAD. So this is going to be kind of fun. I think it might be best if we just get going. All right. So you know what I'd like to do next is I'd like to bring up Marcello Scamboluri. Marcello, come on up. So Marcello's going to be my co-host. I am so not technical that it's really good if we have somebody that knows what the heck is going on screen. So I'm just going to poke people a lot because I'm annoying and everything. And Marcello is going to help us like actually know what's going on if you haven't seen Dynamo. Marcello, what's going on? What are they going to be competing to do, and what's happening?
We've got 3 contestants, and they're going to be using Dynamo to create a venue for Celine Dion on Mars.
All right, perfect. So, but what are they doing? Like, what's happening with each station here?
Okay, we've got Dieter over here. He's going to be using Dynamo for advanced steel, okay? And then over
So that means they're going to be using Dynamo, but Dynamo works with a bunch of other products.
Right.
It'll be Dynamo plus advanced steel.
Dynamo
What's gonna
plus
happen over here?
advanced steel. And then over here, we got Robert. Robert's going to be used Dynamo for Maya.
Okay,
Really
so
exciting.
teaming up Dynamo and Maya,
Dynamo
what's going to
Maya.
happen here?
And then over here, we've got Adam. He's going to be doing Dynamo for Forge and one of its applications, which is quantum. So it's very
All right.
exciting.
So we're going to see 3 different uses. They're going to all be competing. You know, Celine Dion wants to go on and on and on, and she needs to do this on Mars, so she needs a venue. She's been telling us this for a while now, and she's hoping that we make this happen. So their job is to do this. Now, were they given anything, like, to prepare for this? What do they start with, or are they starting from totally scratch?
No, some of them aren't starting from total scratch. They were given the problem, which is how to create the venue
Celine Dion,
for Celine
all right.
Dion on Mars. That was really the only thing they were told.
Excellent. All right, I like it. Pretty blind here, but they know Celine Dion and they know Mars.
That's right.
I think maybe we should bring them up.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Come on up, Dieter. Come on up, Robert. Come on up, Adam. Woo! All right. All right, I mean, okay, they're up here live competing. This is a little high nerve level thing, so I'm so glad you came. All right, what are you thinking? Should we start them up?
We should start them up.
How long do they have?
Okay, they've got 20 minutes to do this from beginning to end. And that's it, not 1 second more.
Wow, all right, 20 minutes. Are you guys ready? Dieter? Yes? Robert? You ready, Adam? No, not. You want to take a break, maybe get a beer? Oh, Adam's brought fuel. I like this. All right, I think we need to have the timer up there. And ready, set, go.
All right, everybody, let's cheer them on. Let's go, let's go. All right, let's see what we got here.
All right, what's happening?
All right, I'll see what we got. It looks like Adam's starting with his, wow, look at that script. Holy smokes.
All right.
We've got some
Start
design
right with
script
Celine.
going on there. Oh, okay, looks like we got an amphitheater, maybe. Okay, we'll check in with you in a minute. Okay, and we've got Maya. Looks like we got the surface of the planet there. Some scripts we'll see in a minute. And look over here. Oh, looks like we got a folded surface up with, where Dieter's working in Dynamo right now.
All right.
Looks like he's got some input sliders going into an open torus surface. Okay, we'll see where that goes in a moment.
So if you notice what's happening with Dynamo, you basically kind of write little chunks of code or behaviors, and you wire them up visually, and then it computationally generates the behaviors, which is pretty cool. Like, so he said, I want an angle, I want a curve, spin it, and now we can play with it.
Yeah, right. Okay, we'll check in with you in a minute. We got Adam. Adam, what are we doing here?
19 minutes.
Okay, we're sorting out seat planning here.
Got
Let me
mic
get the mic.
there,
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know, Adam has jumped, I don't know, have you jumped very far? High, low? Jumped? I don't know. Adam.
How far have I gone with this? I've cheated.
You're cheating? Oh, I like it. All right. So he's taking a leap. He's got some ideas. Curiously enough, Bad Monkey, which is one of the groups he works with, they've committed about 40% of all the cool Dynamo new features. So he's part of this collective that kind of comes up with all sorts of crazy new templates and crazy new features for Dynamo.
All right, good. Looks like we got a bunch of seating going on here. All righty, very good. We'll check back in. Let's go down into the crowd. Is this on? Coming down.
How many people know that, that Rob actually has had a very close call on the Vegas Strip? How many people have ever heard of Charo? Charo? I'm really old. She was a coochie woman. She would just get up on stage and kind of dance and things like that. She was a big TV show thing and a Vegas phenomenon maybe in the 70s and the 60s. His dad actually got married on the Strip, and Charo just showed up. And so he got like a private kind of dance with her, which was kind of fun at the chapel down the street when his dad got married. So he knows what's going on this Vegas Strip. So he's got that context, which I think is important. What else is happening? Man on the street, what's going on?
I'm down here. I'm gonna get some feedback. Can you sir, do you know anything about Dynamo?
I know nothing about Dynamo. Dynamo scares me.
All right. Can anyone identify what's going on with Maya? Got any Maya users in here? Any Maya users? No? All right. Back to you.
Yeah, not many people know that Adam dreams of extreme sports and extreme hobbies. He wants to do extreme knitting at some point. He's pretty excited by that. No? Yes? Yes, I know he does.
All right, we'll do some fact checks.
What do you
Does
got?
anyone know why the planet Mars is red? Anyone? Anyone?
Why
No?
is Mars red?
Why is Mars red? And over here, why is Mars red?
Is it because of iron oxide in the soil?
That's exactly right. We would have also took rust, but that's very good. Yes, because
Well, it's kind of interesting. On Mars, the same landmass of Earth that we can actually build buildings on and Las Vegas on and stuff like that, Mars has about the same landmass as Earth. Earth has so much water coverage that in terms of buildable, arable land, it's about the same as Mars. So there's a lot of space out there to work on. How's it going? 16 minutes. 16 minutes.
all right. Let's see if we can
All
figure
right.
out what's going
I
on
cannot tell
here.
what's happening yet.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. But Dieter's still bearing his toroid. We'll see. He's gonna probably build that geometry and pass it into advanced steel soon enough. And looks like Adam's doing some. He's doing some projections onto his surfaces. Awesome. And let's see if we got here with Maya.
Actually, I'm going to dig in here for a second.
Yes.
Peter, tell me a little bit about your plan here.
I'm making a arena and a stage. One is with spatial trusses, and another one will be with a diagrid structure. And we are going to optimize the cut lengths of it, and then
right.
bring it to advanced steel.
So this is sort of automatically generating the arena.
Yeah,
All right. One more time.
and then use some sliders to make it like dynamic.
All right, can we see that happen?
Yeah, soon.
Soon, all right.
Very good. Very good.
Robert, how are you going to beat these guys?
I don't know. There's a lot of issues.
What are you doing?
Trying to send some geometry back into Maya from Dynamo.
All right.
Let's see.
All right, it's okay. It's early. You have 14 minutes and 50 seconds.
I got a question for Adam. Adam, everyone wants to know, where did you get that surface that you're using there? Did you go to Mars and do a survey?
Dimitar and I put it together after reading about 50 papers on the best way to sort out a dome based on internal pressure pushing outwards, working with the steel structure. Because the pressurization's a lot deeper inside, it counteracts this.
Wow. Okay, so you did your research to build that surface. That's awesome. Very
All
good.
right, so Adam's been thinking about the difference of Mars versus Earth. How many people have any idea how light you would be on Mars? How much you would weigh? Anybody have an idea? I think it's like maybe if I weighed 150 pounds on Earth, I would weigh about 58 pounds on Mars. So slightly different gravity, which is kind of cool. The biggest problem is it's mostly a CO2 atmosphere on Mars. So we're going to have to bring or figure out how to make some oxygen. And only about 8% of the air pressure of Earth, which means he's got to build different structures because we don't quite have the same air pressure.
Okay. I'm getting a few
13
questions.
minutes.
I'm getting a few questions down here on the floor. Just to clarify, Adam Sheether is using Dynamo with Forge. Dynamo with Forge. That's Autodesk's web programming application, as well as Quantum. All right, so we're going to see that, some collaboration here in a minute, I'm sure. Looking great. All right. You want to comment? Questions for the audience?
I'm trying to decode what's happening. I think a good thing to do here, it's very common in design slams and in competitions in general. Every time you see one of these guys slide a slider, I think you should take a drink.
All right,
Could be
good
water.
idea, good
It's
idea.
okay.
That means it's parametric. It looks like
Let's keep an eye out for it.
and we're all building closed structures, it looks like, which makes sense.
Wow, this is starting to look interesting. Look over here versus over here. So we built a real basic shape here, and then it's actually starting to use computation to figure out the structure.
Yeah, that's great. Looks like Dieter's taking...
12 minutes and 23 seconds.
All right, all right. Looks like Dieter's working out his structural trusses there. I'm gonna head back over there. And Dieter, the audience wants to know, did you do a structural analysis on this structure before you built it?
Nah.
No, okay, he's eyeballing it. Awesome. But we got to remember, though, about the gravity difference between Mars and Earth, and take into those small computational differences.
Do people normally only have something like 15 or 20 minutes to build entire dynamite projects? This is typical?
No, it's not typical at all. Usually they have weeks or months. So we got to really hand it to them. But we got some interesting stuff going on here with Maya.
Wow, okay, look at
Yeah,
what's
look
going
at
on.
that. That's great. It looks like we probably, looks like we're relating the structure with the form. Is that correct? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, and what modifier did you use in Maya to actually do that on the surface?
It's a complicated one called extrude.
It's a complicated one called extrude. All right, very good. Let's check in with Adam. How are we doing, Adam? Did we hit the web yet?
I'm about to start panelizing this thing with quantum, so.
All right, we're going to panelize with quantum here in a minute. Very good.
Marcelo, did we give them a particular location for the Vegas venue?
No, we did not. We did not give them
Anywhere.
a particular location, no.
Interesting.
On
So
Mars.
so Mars is kind of fun in that it actually has the largest mountain in the entire solar system. So Mount Olympus is the largest mountain in the solar system. I don't know if that's where you want to put the Vegas Strip. Might be kind of fun. Could also be maybe where the Curiosity Lander is. Could be in lots of different places.
We got a question here on the floor. You sir, were you going to ask, what was it?
How cold is it there?
Yeah, how cold is it on Mars is the question.
Oh, okay. How cold is it on Mars?
How cold is
I'm
it?
gonna
How
do
cold
my
does it
Google
get?
search in my head. It turns out at night it can be like 135 degrees negative Celsius at night. During the day, it can go up to, in the worst period of time, maybe 35 degrees Celsius. So there's a pretty wide range there.
Wow.
And you got to actually design for that, right? The change between night and day is pretty dramatic.
All right, I'm going to start over here with that. So Dieter, did you consider thermal expansion of all your structure between those two different types of temperature differentials?
What?
All right. We're going to check in with
Perfect.
Robert.
Peter came prepared. That's nice.
gonna check in with
That's how
Robert.
we roll at Autodesk. We are prepared.
Robert, with your structure, did you consider thermal expansion with the temperature differentials of Mars?
No, it looks like they already terraformed it, so I think we're good.
All right, so that's a no?
No.
That's a no. Okay, I'm going to...
All right, he's counting on
Very good.
terraforming.
All right,
Reasonable.
thank you for those facts.
Adam.
All right, how we doing, Adam? It looks like we're unfreezing some nodes. If we look up there, we see in his group that he's using some quantum now. You're actually taunting to quantum. It looks here like he's got two different windows open, two different Dynamo sessions running at the same time. That must mean he's passing data from this Dynamo script up into the cloud, and it's coming back down here into this Dynamo session. Is that correct?
Yep, that's right.
Very good. So this is one way to collaborate. That's excellent. Okay, very good. I'm going to head to the audience. Oh, very good.
Talking to your friends on Mars may take a while, so if she actually wanted to do a live concert on Mars and actually simulcast it on Earth, at the distance away from Mars to Earth, it might take 42 minutes to do the simulcast, that much of a delay at its distance. So we're kind of far apart, which is interesting.
Very good. Okay, we got 8 minutes, just under 8 minutes, contestants.
8 minutes.
All right.
By the way, so it's curious, Mars has the same day as Earth. And we all know in Las Vegas, you're never supposed to know if it's day or night. So we've already got tools to understand this, but it's about twice as long a year. It's about 657 days for 1 year. So if you're like 12 on Mars, you're actually 24 on Earth, which is kind of interesting.
All right, very good. Look at this. We've got Robert doing some T-spline calculations. Holy smokes. This will crash probably.
This
if
will
you're using-
probably crash, yeah.
It'll probably crash if you're using T-splines, maybe. Anyone a T-spline expert out there? T-splines!
T-spline expert.
Yeah. All right, very good. All
What
right,
is a
and then,
T-spline?
A T-spline, well, T-spline's a more complicated type of curve. Very complicated. A lot of computation there, but it could do some crazy. Oh, we did get it. Yeah. Wait, no, everyone. Wait, hold on a minute. Should he report that error? All right, there we go. Report that error to Autodesk. They will pick it up and let you know in a few minutes how to fix it.
6 minutes, and Robert has gotten a beach ball.
Alrighty, it looks like Dieter has passed his geometry, Mickey, into advanced steel. So now he's rocking and rolling. Rocking and rolling. Yeah, we see it in, yeah, there we go.
This is the glory of live.
Very good, very good. Okay, where's our forge, Adam? When are we passing to forge? Adam, when are we gonna see some forge action?
When it stops thinking.
When it stops sinking, we're gonna do the forge. Okay, excellent. So we're just gonna let that, the internet chew on it for a while.
What is Forge, Marcelo?
Well, I'm not the Forge expert, but what I know is Forge is a platform for developers to build web-based applications that runs on HTML code that allows you to basically view your data for any Autodesk product and build web applications. It's an amazing, robust thing, and it's a new kid on the block. Amazing stuff.
Forge. I mean, I think the way I think about Forge is that it used to, let's say we have 200 products, 200 different teams maybe sometimes writing a renderer to render things or to show materials. Why don't we actually just develop one module that's just like a large model renderer? And if you put a city in, it renders a city, and if you put in a gene sequence, it renders like a virus. So instead of having 200 different development teams, a platform with lock-in, we give you a few building blocks, and then you can build on top of that. So large model render is one of the building blocks in Forge. So it's a bit of a platform where you can mix and match these things and get the capability you want without necessarily having to take the big heavy program.
That's right, yeah. That's how you got it. Okay, so let's see what we got. Got T-splines back up. That's good you saved that, Robert. And we got, all right, are we done syncing?
5 minutes, you passed the 5 minute mark. 4 minutes and 40 seconds.
Woo!
Uh-oh.
Just under 5
All right,
minutes,
let's give
everyone.
them some encouragement. Yeah, you can do it, you can do it.
Alrighty.
Now what I've learned on time box problems is you have to finish. And because if you show nothing, it's hard to get applause. So it's more important to finish at this point than to necessarily get every single thing, every little detail worked out. So this is sort of like first approximation of the problem so that you can pitch the idea. This is sort of rough and ready prototyping. 4 minutes.
A year. How long's a year?
I got another question down here. Whoa. I got another question down here on the floor. What's your question, sir?
I'm curious, are they thinking these are temporary or more permanent structures?
The question was, are they more temporary or are they going to be permanent structures?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a good one. Let me just see if
I think we just have to ask.
I'm just going to...
Rob, are you building a temporary or a more permanent structure in your head? Definitely permanent. All right. Dieter,
All right,
what about
very
you?
good, very good.
Temporary, permanent structure, what are you thinking in terms of lifespan? I'm distracting you and you only have 3 minutes left, is what you're thinking. Who's this guy who does not want me to win?
Oh, here we go. Okay, we're getting Forge up finally.
All right.
Adam, is this Forge we're looking
3
at?
minutes.
Yeah, this is Forge.
All right, awesome. This is Forge. Very good, very good.
Having a hard time waiting.
Mickey, I was curious, how long is a Mars year?
We just talked about this. It's about twice as long as...
Twice as long, okay.
Twice as long as Earth.
Missed that, we were talking, all right.
You know, what's interesting is we need to be able to design in situ, in the place. If you look at the space station, you're floating, there's no gravity, and it turns out if you interview the astronauts, they're either pushing off and gliding or they're trying to stop. And it turns out all their blood goes to their core, so they can't necessarily feel their fingertips, and they actually get microfractures on their tips of their fingers because they stop and they don't even realize they actually fractured their fingertip. So life in outer space, life on a different planet is going to be very different. We can't design it here and hope that it works over there. We need that context. Turns out every morning, 2 minutes, every morning in the space station when they wake up, something has drifted away from the night before, because everything drifts away. So they wake up, they turn around, and they get poked in the eye by a pen. And this happens all the time. Uh-oh.
All right, we get some cheers. We finally see something
2 minutes.
forged. Oh, here comes a high poly surface of Mars.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, very good. Hello.
Peter.
See that? All right. Very good. Are you up and running again?
Yeah, but T-Splines is not even active anymore, so that's fun.
T-Splines is not acting very what? Friendly? T-Splines is not even on. Okay, we'll talk to the Dynamo developers about that in a little bit.
1 minute and 30 seconds.
All right, minute 30.
Woo! Woo! Yikes.
All right, very good. Very good. It looks like Adam's got his stadium in the correct orientation, perhaps? Okay, we're working on it. We're working on it. All right, it looks like we got some design script there. Very good. Some design parameters through design script. Do you prefer design script or out-of-the-box nodes?
Design script's a lot faster.
Design script's a lot faster. A good idea for this
1 minute.
competition. All right, we'll give him 1
minute.
minute. Everyone want to cheer him on?
Woo!
Let's go. All right.
Woo! All right, when we get to 15 seconds, I think we all have to count it down. Ready? Getting up there, 47 seconds left. Who will be able to pitch their idea to Celine Dion's agent and crew to actually try to sell this baby? 35 seconds.
Are we counting down the 15 seconds, Mickey?
Yeah.
All right, excellent. Okay.
Oh, slider. Somebody should drink.
All right, looks like Dieter got his toroid and all his center steel there with some outlying trusses that's supporting some type of surface there. That looks good.
15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put your mouses down. Woo!
All right.
All right, let's give them a big hand just for doing this. All right.
Would you like me to go to each one?
Yeah. All right, Adam, I just want to ask you a question.
Go.
How are you feeling?
Quantum let me down. No, it was a design freeze, and then I got upset, and then I froze up, so I missed a couple of the steps that I was thinking about in my head. So I got one of my first options rationalized out of quantum, which was good.
All right.
But yeah, definitely need to polish my game.
All right, you're still going to have to pitch this. Are you ready to pitch the idea?
Well, my idea is you don't need any of these other tools. You can get away with open source Dynamo and a buck out of Forge, and you can build everything off that.
All right, but what's your idea? Pitch the idea.
What's my idea?
Celine Dion.
Okay, so Celine Dion, I did forget the hotel, which was coming. So basically we have panels around it so you don't die from all the solar radiation. We have a nice little area there. I didn't get my hotel across, which is a giant Titanic hotel to tie it with
Titanic
the theme.
hotel, all right.
And yeah, basically you have to stay there for 26 months based on Elon Musk's current projections, so you got to live there for quite a long time.
All right, he did the science.
Yeah.
Let's give him a hand. Wait, but that's not the vote. Just good. After we do the pitches, you're going to actually applaud for the applause-o-meter, but first I want each of them to tell us a little bit. Tell us what's going on.
All right, so I had a little bit of issues with T-Splines crashing, but I mean, I got some of it there. I mean, it's working.
I see fire. I see
yeah,
flames.
there's
What's
fire
going on?
and smoke and fireworks, but that's the easy part.
Well, pitch this idea to us. What's going on?
So, you know, big concert, lots of nice place for her to throw a big party and a big concert, but that's it, like a sort of a play on a weird geodesic dome.
The sort of geodesic dome. You were focusing on, it looks like the experience. You got that kind of stuff going on.
Exactly.
All right, let's give him a big round of applause. Yeah, all right. Robert, Dieter, tell us what's going on.
Well, I try to create something which is using as less as possible steel, so save on our resources actually, and save the waste. So we only have a waste percentage in this case of 4.35%, which is quite cool for steel structures.
So you're thinking about the resources there. Let's actually start by doing more with less early.
Yeah.
When we move to this new planet.
More,
all
better,
right,
less.
pitch the idea though. What's the idea? Like, how are you going to get Celine Dion and crew to go for your idea?
Well, I guess she doesn't mind.
What?
she doesn't mind if there is waste.
Oh, I see. But you're trying to
She
look
only
out.
wants
Oh,
to sing
man.
and have good acoustics, but the guy that is making it,
So
that needs
your
to
pitch is
bring it
to-
over there, he wants to gain as much as possible money for it.
All right, so much as possible money. You run into, what kind of problems you run into?
a lot of actually in steel.
Like what?
Starting with the beam lengths. So in this case, it's optimizing the length of each beam and tries to find out in which stock length it should take the right beam from. It's quite technical, which is typical for engineers, no?
Yeah.
And with this calculation in here happening live in Dynamo, you fabricate something and you get your feedback immediately with
So
it.
the feedback, okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's give him a hand. All right. Here are the 3 contestants, and this is the way the applause-o-meter works. I'm going to say contestant, I'm going to say Rob. Let's give it a try, then I'll go over there and over there. 3, 2, 1, make some noise. Okay, all right. 3, 2, 1, make some noise. I think a little more. All right. All right. Dieter, it's over to you. All right, make some noise. All right, I see, okay. All right, I think we have a winner.
I think we got a winner.
I think we have a winner. Now, what's interesting is it sounds like a bunch of you people just love steel and lengths of steel. Is that true? Yeah, all right. All right, Dieter is the winner. All right, well done, Dieter. Well done. You guys probably just have to slink off in shame. So sad. But we do have, an open bar. So, all right, let's give them a big round of applause. The Dynamo Design
Thanks, guys.
Slam.
Thank you.
Get up. All right. Now, here's the thing. Because he was from Autodesk, we're not going to give him a workstation. Yeah. But we will give him our love, which is good. So hug him if you see him. All right. Thanks, guys. All right. I believe I have a clicker,
Do you need
and it's time for the next one.
up there? Do you need to take it off? Is your computer?
So the next one is Infraworks.
Is it up there?
This is going to be a totally different kind of an approach. So we're going to have some more contestants. We're going to do a slightly different challenge. It's still going to be on Mars, home planet. Actually, yeah, where's Eric? We want Eric to come on up. Eric is going to be my co-host. Eric, what the heck is going on with the Infraworks thing? Tell us about it.
Well, it's going to be a little different than the one you just saw. Instead of one long 20-minute round, we're going to do 3 speed rounds. It's going to be awesome. And what we're going to do, the project is we're going to design, or these guys are going to design Las Vegas on Mars. Maybe we'll call it Mars Vegas, right? I mean, Celine's got to have a place to put the hotel she's going to sing in, right? So their project is going to have 3 main parts. We've got the spaceport, where people are going to come into to the site. We've got the commercial district, where we have the hotels, where all the adults are going to go to play. And then we're going to have the residential district, where the folks that work in the services industry can live.
Yeah.
So that's the idea with the contest.
So Eric, who do we have up here?
Well, on your far left, Senior CAD Graphics Specialist from VHB.
Woo! All right.
Chris Dubois. Give him a hand.
Boys.
In the center, designer from David Evans and Associates, Dan Ilian.
Dan Ilian. Uh-oh. I think he
And
brought
on
a
your
serious
far
section.
right, from AI Engineers, BIM Technology Manager, Matt Wunsch. Let's hear it for Matt. So these guys were all finalists in the Infraworks Design Slam from last year. They are veterans, and I think you're going to be pretty impressed with
So
what you're gonna
seasoned
see.
veterans from Design Slam. Were they able to start with anything? Are they starting totally from scratch? What's going on?
Well, we gave them a little bit. We gave them a model of the surface of Mars to start with. It's the Curiosity landing site, and we gave them the ability to bring some of their own content. So it's one of the great things about Infraworks is you can build stuff in other places and bring it in to really dress up your model.
But they couldn't actually build the
No.
full model.
No.
You gave them some sample models. What's
correct.
the site on Mars? Did you pick a place?
Yeah, it's the site of the Curiosity rover landing.
Oh, I see the
You can see
Curiosity
it in the
rover.
foreground
All right.
there in the models that they're working in.
All right, are we ready for the first one, which is going to be...
Oh, okay, that's right. We're going to have them focus on something a little specific each round. In the first round coming up, they're going to focus on the spaceport and on the commercial district, so the hotels and all the fancy places where people are going to vacation. So, and I'll tell you about the second round before we kick that one off. So let's go.
All right, the first round is about to begin. Let's start with a 5-minute countdown. Go.
All right, let's see what these guys are going to be doing. Matt's zooming out to get started. It looks like Dan's already bringing in some content that he brought along with him. You know, one of the great things about Infraworks is the amount of work that you can do in a very, very short time.
So I'm curious, does anyone here have ideas of like what they really need to think about for a spaceport? Spaceport ideas, thoughts that you're thinking you're going to judge them on? Anybody in the crowd have things? Raise your hand if you have a spaceport consideration they should think about. Spaceport. Is anyone still in the room? I know you're there. Spaceport. I don't know. Shy people tonight.
They're shy. So I'm looking at look at Dan's model. Somehow he put stars in the background. I have no idea how he did that, but that is fantastic.
4
Dan,
minutes.
We're gonna talk afterwards and find out what you did there. So over here, Chris is bringing in some content. Look at that. Look at that gorgeous spaceport that he dropped in there.
All right.
Mickey, would you ask Chris what product he used to make that spaceport, where he may have gotten that from?
Chris, tell us a little bit about what you've been using to make the stuff that you're starting to bring in.
Well, we created a few custom elements inside of SketchUp, exported them out as DAEs, and brought them into our model.
All right.
Dan has a pretty nice looking spaceport of his own. Check that out. Again,
3
like I
minutes and
said,
20 seconds.
great thing about Infraworks, you can design your buildings in Revit, whatever product you have access to, drop them right in and start to build the infrastructure around them. Now don't forget guys, you're down to 3 minutes and we need to look at some of this commercial district as well. You know, I think Matt Wunsch may have brought quite a bit of buildings of his own. Check that out.
So we learned a lot about Mars from The Martian. We learned that almost every few years we have to save Matt Damon from something. Maybe the spaceport's going to teach us something about things. It takes months to get to Mars, so the spaceport's going to be really important. Oh, look at what he's got going on over here. 2 minutes and 36 seconds.
Yep. Round one is halfway down. And check it out. Matt's laying out the road down the center of his commercial district. Just like that, you're able to snake a road through an area. It looks like Chris is having some issues. Another great feature of Infraworks is how quickly it opens after you close it down.
2 minutes and 12
Look
seconds.
at that. Just like that, he's right back in.
Dan, are you pretty excited about building on Mars? What are you thinking?
I'm loving it.
All right. So Dan actually has jumped 5,000 feet, about 5,000 feet, bungee jumping into the deepest place on Earth. So Mount Olympus, tallest mountain on the whole solar system. Maybe that'll be kind of a fun thing. Snowboard out of a weird helicopter thing. Oh, look at this.
Very cool.
He's bringing Vegas in.
Now I want to get a little bit technical with you. Take a look at Matt's intersection over here. All he did was make two roads intersect, and Infraworks automatically designed that intersection for him. And basically by flipping a switch, he was able to convert that to a roundabout. I mean, come on. How is that possible?
1 minute and 15 seconds.
We've got an interesting AU structure that Matt is plopping down in his roundabout.
All right, I like what's going on over here. Captain Kirk is going to be very excited. 59 seconds. I feel like I shouldn't be bothering these people too much. All right.
There's definitely a lot going on in a short amount of time. I bet you folks didn't think they could do this much in 5 minutes, but take a look at that.
Well,
We're
what's he
laying
doing
out
over
an
here?
entire
He's
town in 5
planning
minutes.
something. I don't know. We got a beach ball. Oh, something's coming.
The stars just are blowing my mind. Dan, I don't know how you did
30
that.
seconds. All right. Remember, at 15 seconds, we'll do the countdown together.
Check it out. Look at how much these guys have accomplished. We got
14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
All right,
Put your mouse
guys.
down.
Let go of the mouse.
Step away from the keyboard.
All right, Chris Dubois, what about your model is awesome? Tell us.
Well, I love the sci-fi Las Vegas that we've set up for downtown. We have an atmospheric generator that we've put in, and we've gone ahead and upgraded our spaceport to handle all the extra traffic that's coming this way to spur on the economic development.
That's what I like.
All right, all right.
He put a political spin on it. All right, Chris. All right, Dan. What's awesome about your model? Let's hear it.
Well, I wanted to bring the actual environment of space to Mars. So if you can see, I've got the stars, and I've got Vegas up in Mars. So you're going to see some pretty awesome stuff here in the next 10 minutes, I promise you.
All right. Some big talk there, some big talk. Matt, what's awesome about your model? Let them know.
Well, Dan's got just a couple buildings from Vegas, so I've got the entire strip here.
Can't argue with that. Can't argue with that. All right, in the next round, they're going to focus more on the residential area, but they can go back and fix up the other stuff too. But the focus is going to be on residential, because by all means, the folks working in the hotels, they need nice places to live, right? So let's work on that. Let's get that 5-minute timer up there.
5-minute timer. And let's start the timer. Go.
All right, let's see where they're going to go next.
All right, residential.
I got to go down here in the floor so I can see these screens.
I wonder what you would do on Mars differently than on Earth with a residential space. Like, what might you consider for residential?
So we got this really awesome, like, cage going on here. I think maybe what Matt is thinking is, the Mars environment is pretty hostile. Mickey, can you tell us about the hostility of the Mars environment? I think you know a little bit about that.
Yeah, Mars is not such a great place to live yet. One of the things that we have to look out for is because we don't have the gravity and we don't have the atmospheric pressure, we don't have the same things, and all humans were pretty much evolved for Earth, your muscles are going to waste away unless you do some things. So maybe in the residential thing, they're going to have different kinds of health clubs. They're going to have to think about this because we don't have enough pressure against us to actually live there right now. It would be pretty hard. We did that 1-year trial on the space station with the twin brothers. And I mean, by the end of the year, the twin that was up there was having some real problems. They had severe change in the way their eyes were shaped. So they actually ended up with, it was either near or farsighted just for being on space station for a year. So the environment is very different. Most of space is trying to kill us, and Earth is a kind of a magical place. But Mars is actually pretty exciting because it's got lots of stuff. We recently discovered water, which is cool. 3 minutes and 25 seconds.
Again, I want to point out just how much these guys have done in now, 7 minutes. We've got major superstructure going on with the bridges, with an overpass in the center in Dan's model. It looks like maybe Chris is installing some tubes for vehicles to travel through safely. Remember, we just had the hostile environment we talked about. And of course, Matt's got the whole city up there, including some of those domes, which I'm assuming is to protect the homes within them from the hostile Mars environment. Now, I'm not sure what's going on over here.
All right.
But I think, all right, sci-fi fans,
I think Chris has got a Stargate.
I was just going to ask.
Warp technology.
I was just going to ask if anyone could identify that, and sure enough, there it is.
2 minutes, 32 seconds.
Has anyone watched all the seasons of Stargate on Netflix? Let me see a show of hands. Yeah, we got some hands back there. My hand's up too. I'm curious where the Stargate takes you. If we have the Stargate, do we need the spaceport?
Whoa. Well, you know, I mean, I think the justification for stargates over spaceports might be gravitational field, or it might be just old school, like yacht racing. You might want to have a spaceport. I don't know. 2 minutes.
So,
all right, Dan's just taking a break. He's like, yeah, that's all right. Dan, tell me a little bit about how you were going to crush the competition.
It's thinking.
Well, I think I need that HBZ2 because this thing is not thinking fast enough.
Right, you want, he's trying to win the prize because he wants that new CAD design workstation. 1 minute, 40 seconds.
We've got animation in Matt's model. We've got animated satellite dishes and a hovering satellite dish, it appears to be. So that's another thing you can do with Infraworks. If you develop a model and you add animation to it, it will respect that animation when you bring the model in. So things like wind turbines or floating satellite dishes, it's all supported.
1 minute, 12 seconds. So, I mean, residential, what do we care about in residential? We want to have fun, we want to be around with our friends, hang out with our family. What are the kinds of things when you're doing the applausometer you're going to judge residential? It might be that I want to have an easy commute to work, if I even work in the future, I don't know. I might be freed from the shackles of work. I could just make things. But what do I do in a residential space? It's like community building, really. So that might be something we pay attention. 46 seconds. Round 2, 41 seconds.
Yeah, I'm just really blown away by what I'm seeing here. I mean, the extreme detail in Dan's model is just unbelievable. The amount of spatial area that Matt filled up.
28 seconds.
Amazing. We've got parking stalls in Matt's model. Now I'm a little curious.
18 seconds.
I'm a little curious what you can
14, 13, 12, come in with me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. All right, step away.
All right.
All right, nice job, nice job.
I'm going to start on this end this time.
Animations, what are you doing?
So Matt, we're going to be totally serious now. I want you to tell me, this is the marketing segment of our show.
It's not done.
I want you to tell me why Infraworks is such a good tool for what you're doing.
Well, it's obvious. You can clearly see what's going on as opposed to looking at a black and white two-dimensional plan.
All right, so it's the visibility of what you're doing. Dan, I'm going to ask you the same question. And you got to answer something different than Matt, so he had the advantage. So what about Infraworks makes it such a good tool for what you're doing right now?
It is quick, easy, and honestly, I taught this software to myself in about 3 hours at home on a Saturday night.
All right, quick and easy to learn. Chris, what do you think? What about Infraworks makes it so good for this kind of project?
I love that we can go through, make quick changes on the fly, and we have rule-based design so that when we want to add another lane, it's one click of a button.
So you're saying this isn't all just a pretty picture, it has some engineering in it?
Absolutely.
All right, that's pretty cool.
So actually, I want to stay with Chris for a second. Chris, what sort of considerations were you thinking about for the residential space? Like when you were picturing the solution, what were you thinking?
I was thinking a lot of underground parking and get them up inside the atmosphere a little bit to enjoy that nice Martian air.
All right, so get out for a little bit of nice Martian air.
Absolutely.
So Chris knows a lot about being out in the air. He knows a lot about doing some different things with different kinds of levels of elements, oxygen, helium, things like that. When he was young, he was actually a set designer and worked in theaters, and he blew things up. He was a special effects guy. And at one point, he built something where he used the fresh oxygen that we have on Earth, and he had a 12-foot theater set, and he had 11-foot flames. And sometimes in the evenings, they'd light the ceiling on fire, drip down onto the actors. Have you learned anything from that experience, Chris?
Yeah, use a 10-foot flame.
10-foot flames, smaller flames. Would you be able to do that kind of stuff on Mars?
With my atmosphere generator, you'd be able to.
All right, he's figured about atmosphere generators. Let's give them a round of applause for round 2, all right?
All right. So we're going to kick off round 3 now, and the focus for round 3 is going to be presentation. These guys are going to generate a video, a fly-through or drive-through video using the storyboard feature of Infraworks. And it's going to amaze you how quickly they can do that in this software, because they're going to have time even to go back and fix up their model a little bit, maybe add some detail. But guys, the focus is the video, so concentrate on that, because at the end, you're going to be judged on that video.
So this round, they have to actually pitch the idea with a video. They're going to get maybe 30 seconds to do this, and then you're going to applaud for the winner after their pitches. So what's interesting about this is, yeah, you can build the best stuff in the world, but if you can't tell a story, you're not going to necessarily get that project. All right, are we ready? 5 minutes. Let's put the timer up, 5 minutes, and go.
I gotta say, the looks on the faces up here are kind of stressed out. I think this is probably the highest, this is a higher stress level than these guys experience at work. I believe that's true.
So what are they doing exactly? Like, what's the storytelling feature?
So what they're gonna do, they're gonna create a storyboard, and they're just going to insert a couple of key frames. In fact, they're called key frames. And the software is gonna automatically create an animation that passes through all of the keyframes that they grab, and it will do it smoothly. So it's actually so simple, anyone can do it. If you can navigate to a few spots in the model and just snap a keyframe, the software will take care of the rest. You hit play, and it just glides through the model, giving you that fly-through or drive-through feel. You can even grab onto a road and say, you know, I just want to drive down this road. Just click the road, and it'll create an animation of you traveling down that road.
4 minutes.
Awesome. So you can see each of them has the storyboard panel up, and they're adding their keyframes.
Nice.
Now, it looks like Dan has used a design road for his storyboard. You can see all the keyframes automatically lined up. These were automatically generated. Whereas it looks like Chris has individually picked his keyframes, and he's allowing the software to go through them for him.
So what are you thinking about when you're actually telling a story? I mean, I'm guessing this is what's going through their head. First, I got to show this. So it's all about kind of how do I build on things? How do I get everyone in the audience into the story?
Well, first of all, I got to say, what's going through their head right now, I probably can't say out loud.
Yeah.
But what they're going to try to do, and one of the things that Infraworks is so good at, is conveying technical information to a non-technical audience. So when you're telling people about projects, usually they're not on Mars, usually they're somewhere on Earth. You're having to explain to them things like how roads are going to get across the project, how traffic's going to flow, where buildings are going to go, where things are going to look from different viewpoints. And this software makes it easy for that to be understood, because it just looks like what it is.
Almost sounds like you're trying to sell me this software. I don't know what's going on over there.
You in? It's only $1,500 for a year.
I like storytelling. I'm good on storytelling. This is selfie.
Let's see what we got going on here. I'm loving the tunnel that Dan Ilian is working with
Solar
here.
generation food dome.
It looks like his animation is actually going to have us traveling down the tunnel.
Is he doing titling?
Yeah, you can add captions and titles. Good catch, Mickey. Mickey's paying attention.
Dan, you got lots of time now. You got 2 minutes. What's going through your head?
Yeah, we got about 2 minutes,
nice little
guys.
title so people know where they are.
Don't forget, if you nail your animation, you want to go back and add some more detail to your model, you're more than welcome to do that. Matt's definitely got some cool animation going on here. It looks like the cover of a progressive rock album. And it looks like Chris is shifting around his titles and captions, so he's getting really detailed and technical. He's got some, yeah, he put some thought into this, no doubt. Chris has.
1 minute and 40 seconds. Infraworks Design Slam.
Well, check it out.
2017, all right.
So Dan's still working on that tunnel, and it looks like he's getting
yeah, all right.
It's like he's getting the effect. And I want to point out that the software is flexible enough that Dan was able to put the viewpoint along that road into one of the lanes. It doesn't just go down the center. You can tell it what your offset is, have it drive down the right lane, the left lane, whatever you choose. It looks like Matt's still in the process of adding keyframes. And you know, I think Chris has a future in politics. There's no doubt about it. Chris has got a future in politics. He is going for the win.
53 seconds.
We're under a minute, gentlemen. Looking pretty good. Chris is testing out his animation over there. Got some really nice looking captions. Matt still looks like he's working with his captions. We got about 30 seconds, guys.
33
Dan
seconds.
is focused on that tunnel. He wants to take you down that tunnel, and I don't blame him because that's a pretty cool visual effect.
I'm trying hard not to bother them right now because they don't have a lot of time, but I feel compelled. 20 seconds. Yeah. 14, 13, 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, come on, 6, 5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Step away from
All
the
right,
keyboard.
guys. That's it.
All right, let's give them a round of applause. All right,
Check
looks
these
pretty
guys
confident.
out. This is serious business for these
Step
guys.
back.
All right.
Serious work.
So we're going to have you play your video and talk us through it. We're going to start with Dan here.
All right, wait, before we start, you're going to applaud after we have each of them do pitches. Let's give them an applaud, of course, when they do their pitch, but the applaudometer will be based on this pitch. So watch the pitch, let's give him a round of applause. We'll do him, and then when they're done, we're going to do the actual voting. And you are the judges. Residential, strip, spaceport, all combined. Who pulls this off? Are you ready, Dan?
Ready? Yeah. All right, talk us through it, Dan.
Hold up. So I was all about bringing the Vegas field to Mars, and honestly, you're going to feel like you're on a ride as we zoom through this. So what I brought a bunch of the Vegas type buildings in. I created my road, and I kind of am turning it almost into a ride. As we go around here, you'll actually see the residential on the left. So I did get that in. I got the Mars feel out in space. And as we go up here, you're going to start to go into what I'm going to call a floating bridge. Sure, why not? So we're going to go up, we're going to go through the buildings. You're going to see there's a Venetian. By the way, I'm staying there. So you go up through space, through the buildings, and honestly, this was so easy. And my whole intent was to kind of make something fun, something cool, something that looked, honestly, I would like to ride this.
Very impressive, very impressive.
All right, let's give him a round of applause.
We're going to do Chris next.
All right, I noticed that he did pretty good on his time. He was actually right on it. I'm going to set a timer this time. Come on, watch. We're going to give you 30 seconds. It's okay if you go a little over that. But I want you to, are you ready? Okay, go.
All right, so welcome to our Mars home planet. So first we're going to go ahead and start off at our spaceport, where you're going to take a maglev roadway and right through the heart of downtown Las Vegas, very sci-fi setup. Hey, is that Doctor Who? It sure is. There's Stargate over there. Spaceball 1, love it. So this is our maglev roadway, which leads us into our comfortable parking space and our comfortable residential living for the residents. Here we go. We also have a special BRT lane that we built, take you right from the spaceport. We have set up a number of food biodomes and some solar arrays. And then it's probably going to take too long to get around to it, but I've talked about it once or twice. Hey, we have that atmospheric generator right behind us.
All right.
Nicely
done.
Chris
Let's give him a round of
DuBois.
applause.
And last but not least.
All right, Matt, you're going to have 30 seconds-ish.
Ready?
Ready?
All right, take us through it,
Take
Matt.
it away.
All right, so first and foremost, I had to set the scene, so I changed the background to sepia, because it is the red planet after all. So this takes us right down the heart of the Mars Vegas Strip. Got some parking on the left-hand side. We've got the AU logo coming up here.
All right, playing.
We've got our residential biodomes, and of course our satellites to monitor the spaceport.
Very nicely done. Let's hear from Matt Wunsch.
All right, let's give him a round of applause.
I think it's time to vote, Mickey.
Yeah, it's time for the audience to vote. All right, we're gonna start with Matt, actually. So are you ready to applaud? I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1, and then I need you to make some noise, and we're gonna measure that. That's how we're gonna win. So if you really love what he pitched, 3, 2, 1, make some noise.
Very respectable.
All right, if you really loved what Dan did, make some noise. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, Dan. Chris, it's down to you. If you want to vote for Chris, now is your time. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh no, oh no. I think, Dan, you got this one. All right, Dan. All right, and just slink off in shame, you two. I'm sorry. Dan, nicely done. Great applause for everybody. Great job.
Great job, all contestants.
So Dan's gonna win one of those little mini power stations. It's amazing. It's sort of the HP's new micro station, really, designed for CAD, which is exciting. So Dan, go find out how to collect that. That would be nice. All right, we're down to the last design slam, and then we're going to actually have an announcement, and we're going to announce the winners of the first phase of Mars Home Planet. So this is a global competition. We'll do that right after this last design slam, and that'll be pretty fun. There's actually one of the winners here. People submitted from all over the world. So stay tuned for that, but right now we're going to do our last one, and I think we're going to stream the winner announcement to about 2 million people live. So let's make sure we give them a big round of applause, and everyone else out there in the world will hear it as well. So let's see, the 360 Design Slam. This one's going to be a little different. This time we're going to have teams of 2, and we've got some interesting teammates, and we're working in parallel on 2 different things. So. Actually, I want Curtis to come on up. He's going to be my technical co-host. Curtis, where are you at? All right, Curtis, come on up. Curtis, tell us a little bit about the Fusion Design Slam.
Mickey, I feel like I need like some Pitbull playing in the background for me to come up here and run out here, right?
Is this the best one?
Yeah.
All right, let's get up the people who are up here. Let's get Andrew Edge, Andrew Mill, and Kaching Song.
Come on, K-Money.
And we're actually going to get the other teammates up here as well. Let's get Ann Pauley, Lena Zoll, and Taylor Stein. Come on up.
Do it.
All right, so this is different. Teams of 2.
Awesome. You know, Mick, I know I think we've done this many times before, all these design slams, but I think it's really key, this being our last one. We actually have, can you just model that sexy red Mars shirt? Can you let them know? Can you show that red shirt you got on? Show them the red shirt. So for this session,
that's right,
we got 30 shirts to give away, right? Who did not get a shirt when you came in? So quite a bit of people didn't give it. So if you want one of these, we're going to come around, talk trivia, and give some of these nice shirts away. Back to you, Mick.
All right, so this is going to be interesting. The teams are actually going to be competing. One of them is going to be doing a helmet in Fusion, and one of them is going to be doing some sort of a jetpack. And they're going to have to put it together and pitch it to us. So each team is going to do that. Actually, Taylor, I want to ask you a question here. Are you feeling intimidated by the competitive mix here?
Not in the slightest. No.
Whoa, all right. How you feeling?
Yeah, all right, all right.
You're feeling all right?
Yeah.
This is Team Europe. This is going to be exciting. All right. How are you guys feeling about the competition?
Confident.
Confident. All right, this is Team Stranger Danger. We're going to figure that one out later. Are we ready?
Yeah.
How much time are they going to have?
I don't hear the crowd enough, so let's get a prediction here. Who do you guys think is going to take it for this design slam? Do you think it's going to be the East Coast guys over here? All right.
All right, a pre-poll. I like it.
How about the Europeans? And how about the Dream Team?
All right,
so we'll see.
All right.
We'll see how this goes.
Let's see how this goes. I was thinking, because these two are from Autodesk, that we should line up a few gin and tonics or something to kind of handicap them a bit.
A shot?
Yes?
Jaeger? Something.
Yeah. All right. Are we ready?
I think we are, sir.
Yeah, how much time do we have?
We got 15 minutes, guys.
15 minutes.
Let's go and kick it off.
Working in parallel. We'll go back and forth so you can see what they're working on.
All right.
This is real personal now. This is on us.
Yeah.
All right, go. Go. We'll start the timer. I see movement.
I think this guy needs to stretch out a little over here. I think this is your fifth one over here, Kaching. So just to let you guys know, what we have going on is we'll only be showing one set of screens. So we have the guys that are designing the helmets, and then we have the guys that are designing now the backpacks, right? So a little bit of trivia. I know you guys were talking about trivia a little earlier, and let me ask you this. Did you know first off, we'll start here. Did you know that the tallest mountain in the galaxy sits on Mars? 13,000 miles high. Actually pretty interesting. I just Wikipedia that up here before I came up here. Another thing too was orbit. 687 days to orbit around the sun. Actually, some pretty interesting facts. But what I want to do though is as these guys start designing, I don't even know, I don't know if that's Kaching drawing either a headphone again or a headset, or I don't know what he's going to be doing again this year. But what we want to do is I talked about 30 different shirts we want to give away. So let's talk about some Fusion trivia. Mick, do you want me to go around and kind of
let's do
talk
that.
to the audience a little? And let's see how these guys are doing. All right, so I think the first one, the first trivia for the first shirt is, first off, who uses Fusion 360 today?
Show of hands.
All right. All right, okay, I ain't gonna go to you guys at all. I'm gonna go to the other rest of the group of people. So, can you name the workspaces in Fusion 360, right? Can anybody tell me the 6 workspaces in Fusion 360? Anybody? Somebody? Okay. Oh, man, come on, Lucas. You're a PM. I can't have you answer. How about you, sir? Take a guess. Take a guess.
Model, patch.
Cam. Rendering.
Simulation.
Rendering. Rendering.
Sheet metal.
Yes.
Rendering.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
We'll get this guy's shirt over here.
So just a fun fact, Linus is 19 years old, and he's going to probably destroy the competition here. 19-year-old, I don't know, Taylor's, I think, 72. He actually is just getting younger. All right, so the next generation is going to try to school these people.
Gene, a little serious.
All right, and
you want to walk us through what you're trying to do right now?
Oh yeah, so this is the manipulator in the sculpt environment, right? And what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna go like, brrr. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that yet. I'm just gonna go like, brrr. And then now you've got some new shapes to play with. And
Fusion made those sound effects.
yeah, brrr. You gotta have sound effects in Fusion, man. Gotta do it. And then I can take this edge. No, I can take this face, and I go, brrr. And I go, brrr.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us, Kaching. How about another trivia?
11 minutes,
Ready?
52 seconds. By the
11
way,
minutes, guys. How about we take a look at, so we got the helmet, we got
a backpack, we got a, I don't know what's going on over there, but it's going to be something.
Can we flip
sexy,
over
I
to the
think.
other side of the screen?
Yeah, we could flip on over there. This thing is making some like Wolverine looking thing on the back. I don't know.
Yeah.
Andrew,
switch to the other guys.
Tell us. What you're working on over here. Let's take a look at the helmet over here, what Andrew got going on.
Well, we've got a little bit of Magneto, we've got a little bit of the Martian, a little bit of Kylo, all mixed into one helmet. The idea here is to get it to a smaller form factor and get rid of sort of the bubble aesthetic that we've seen in a lot of space helmets. So you're out on Mars, you're working, you're out in the field, you're getting in and out of vehicles. The last thing you want to do is hit your head. So I'm bringing it in closer to the face, adding for more flexibility of the neck with a more flexible rubber attachment here. And that's all I got.
Man, that's the best engineering explanation I heard all night, man. Jeez, thank you, man. Thank you. How about the Europeans? So serious over here.
Yeah, what's going on?
We got over here. We got Andrew as well. Let's see what he got going on over here on the tablet. Walk us through, buddy.
So I'm just designing a helmet using T-splines at the moment.
Okay.
I'm going to use a couple of series.
Hold on real quick. Hey,
For a T-shirt, can anybody guess his accent? For a T-shirt, anybody guess his accent?
Where's Andrew from? New
Scotland.
Jersey?
Continue on, sir.
Yeah, so I'm just using a series of rays just now, and hopefully I'll get a pretty quick result.
Whoa.
Thank you.
10 minutes.
Well, now I got to pick up my man over here, my counterpart, Mr. Handsome, Mr. Taylor Stein. Walk us through, man. Let's take a look at the jetpack.
So we're making the jetpack here. We've got these fuel tanks, and we've got these arms that are going to flare out to the side and open on up.
All right.
Impressive. Anybody see the Rocketeer? There's a Rocketeer over here.
We're looking at the backpacks. We're back over to the backpacks. Looks like it's coming along.
So we were to give away 2 shirts. We got 28 more to give away. But I'm like just handing them out at the end of the day. How about you know what, Kaching, Mr. Product Manager, how about we have you ask the next Fusion 360 trivia question out there?
When did Fusion first start becoming Fusion? When did it first come out?
Okay, so the question is, when did Fusion come out? And what was it called prior to being Fusion 360? Anybody? Oh, come on, man. All right, right here. I got Seth.
9 minutes.
Seth, take a stab at it, my man. When did Fusion come out, and what was it called before?
Inventor Fusion, and 7 years ago.
There we go. Inventor Fusion and 7 years ago. There we go. Congrats, man. We'll give you a shirt.
All right. Hey, just a fun fact. They're doing the backpack, sort of jetpack. Now remember, if you weigh 150 pounds on Earth, you weigh 58 pounds on Mars, which means you can jump higher. Pretty cool, but not much air pressure out there because it only has about 8% of the barometric pressure of Earth. So inside, you could jump really high and you could probably fly with wings or other things. Outside, it might be a bit of a trouble, but you could jump pretty high. I wonder if they took this into consideration.
Mickey always amazes me with all the fun facts about Mars. What's up with the music? We could crank it up a little bit, get people hyped, get these guys in the zone. Kaching got that serious face going on right here, huh?
All
that
right,
game face. Look at that game face. Zoom in on that game face. There it is. Let's take a look at how the guys are doing at the end.
Liking this. Oh, we just switched back over. Andrew's got the helmet going on.
So let's find out. Let's take a look at the backpack over here, and how about you walk us through and tell us what you got going on?
Right here?
Yes, indeed.
We have everything extruded off of the same plane that was made using a spline curve, so the entire wing would have the same continuous shape. And we have folding segments here, so the wing can fold in on itself.
I mean, and you somehow got like a turbine blade in there too, which is phenomenal. I don't know what you do with that. Or hook up a Rolls-Royce engine to it or something. Well, amazing. You know, I think a lot of people don't understand the design to manufacturing standpoint, and all you're seeing is some guy throwing either gumballs up here on stage or Skittles. This ain't beast mode up here, man. You have to know Skittles, this guy up here. But people all you guys are seeing is the design phase. You know, we had this gentleman up here that talked about design, patch, rendering, sheet metal, CAM, one of my favorites, as well as simulation, right? So today we really want to focus on the design aspect of it, but hopefully as we go through this process, we guys can showcase the other aspects, right? Because it's all about making something, and that's what we're here about at Autodesk. When you think about our brand and who we are, we can make anything, right? And Fusion is one of those pieces to the puzzle that allows us to take those steps to make anything, whether it's design, additive, subtractive, combining the both, generative design. That's what we're about here with Fusion. Does that sound like a good commercial right there? You guys like that pitch? You sound good, huh? Right? You buy it. You buy it.
6 minutes. 6 minutes.
6 minutes, Kaching. Now, I would love you for the program me something too. I'll have you do that in a little bit.
Let's find out what Taylor's up to.
Yeah, let's see what's up. Let's see what's up, Taylor. It's kind of quiet over here. Always got that serious face on.
It's all business. So we're almost wrapping it up. Check it out. These things move around over here. We can drive this back in, and it moves around like that.
Of course. Almost done. Almost done over here. With time left.
5:39. Hey, why don't we switch the screens back over to the helmets? Can we get the helmets on screen? All right. All right, a lot of progress over here. Andrew's got textures, colors.
So now we're starting to have people move to that next phase. I guess the dream team over here is falling behind here. People are already rendering. Half the team over here is already rendering their design over here. But it's good to see it's not only about just the design as we talked about, but adding that realistic feel, right? So great to see the Europeans really taking that charge, showcasing that. But I want to talk to my man over here, Linus. If you don't follow him on Instagram, follow this guy on Instagram right here. See some of the work he's actually done on and with Fusion 360. Well, let me tell you a little something about this guy before we go hop over to his screen. So he's 19, has been using Fusion for 3 years already, and he actually spoke at one of the Fusion 360 events out in Germany and basically stole the show because of the design and so many things he's done. And so why don't you walk us through what you're doing over here?
Can we switch the screen back over to the backpack stuff? I think Linus is working on the backpacks.
Yeah, so basically we were allowed to like prepare sketches. So I was drawing shapes like inspired by the cars by Lamborghini. So I like really wanted to get these hard edges and everything and just make a futuristic looking design.
Thank you. Now, can anybody guess this guy's accent right here? Anybody? We got Scotland, and we got anybody? Who? Where? Where? Okay, so you got a T-shirt right here for you. Awesome. Then we got a groupie that ran up on stage. I want to get some pictures over here.
3 minutes and 46 seconds. All right, now after they're done, we're going to give them maybe a minute to merge the two, and they're going to have to pitch this stuff.
Perfect.
Backpack, helmet. Let's bring it all together.
Kaching, we gotta see what you're doing over here. Let's hop over to the tablet over here. Take a look at what Kaching got. Kaching, walk us through it, my friend.
All right, so now I'm putting decals on, and obviously this needs an Autodesk decal. And if I flip it over, you know, well, this is about Mars, right? This is about life on Mars. This is the helmet that we're going to use for the first human settlement on Mars.
Kaching, that's phenomenal, man. You know what? How about we talk about, you're so good with T-splines. It looks great. Are you almost done? How about you program a part for me real quick?
Well, I think you're the expert. You should come and program the car. I'm gonna let you do it.
How about you hold my mic, Kaching?
Oh man, so now
All right.
we're doing a little tag team here.
Kaching seems very confident right now.
Let's get him to ask a question. Let's get a question out there for
All right,
these
so
guys.
Kurt's gonna program a part on that oxygen port, and I'm gonna throw out some more fusion trivia. So I saw some T-splines out earlier. What other things are good to use for T-splines? What else can you make with T-splines? Crickets. Beer. Beer bottles, yes, I made one of those. I've made
2
many
minutes.
of those. All right, so looks like Kurt's choosing some tools here. We're gonna cut that part. How the students doing?
Hey, wait. Get back over there. Get back over there. All right, I think this is a psychological warfare attack. We've got to be very careful. Kaching's trying to show off that he has excess time on his hands. All right. We got popcorn coming from the audience.
Hey,
1 minute, 30 seconds.
Hostility.
Get back over there. Curtis,
I'm
get
done
away
with my
from
part.
the-
I'm
the
done with my
table.
part.
All right, let's go. All right, do not pay
We're
attention
done.
to
Go
them.
for it. We're done. Programmed. 30 seconds. Let's take a look at Taylor's. Over here, Kaching.
Right here. Let's take a look at the backpack. There we go. Taylor, walk us through. You already merged it and all.
Yeah, we put it all-
Kaching was already done.
We put it all together. We got the helmet from Kaching. We inserted it, and now all we got to do is render it. I think we're done.
Awesome. You want to show me that movement?
Yeah,
all those joints you set up?
There it is. Right there. And right here.
There it is. Phenomenal. Now let's drop it into render.
Show up. I want to talk to Ann.
All right.
I'm loving what she's doing. So I run workshops on building angel wings. So I'm pretty excited about what's going on with Ann.
Wow.
Ann, we got 44 seconds. Tell us a little bit about your idea.
Hopefully everybody here has seen the new Spider-Man movie. If you haven't, you should. There's a famous comic book character in there called Vulture. And in the new movie, they reimagined him with wings very similar to this, where the wings could fold in on themselves and they were
We need you to render it. They want you to render it, I guess.
All right.
That's what I hear.
I'm distracting her.
I hear
She has
from-
18 seconds. 14, 13, 12, help me. 11, 10,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Step away.
All right, step away.
All right.
Big round of applause. Big round of applause.
All right, I'm curious.
Who you want to
you
start
guys had
with?
a chance to merge everything together. Are you feeling good? You ready to present?
Good.
Ready to present? You ready?
Present.
All right. Now we're going to have them present their idea. You've got maybe 30 seconds to a minute. Tell us the story. Sell the audience. on this. And at the end of that, let's give them a round of applause. We'll have the next team go. Let's give them a round of applause last, and then we will do the voting. Pay attention, you are the judges. All right, are you ready? Take it away.
So our design is inspired by drones and comic book characters. So the blades in here were inspired by the drones that everybody knows and loves. And then the modular drone and wing duo design was inspired by the newest rendition of Vulture from the new Spider-Man movie. And we were also inspired by Iron Man in that the helmet and the wings can communicate with each other. And because we have that wireless connection, the wings can actually fly independently of the user. So the wings can actually be their own drone, just like Iron Man's little mini Iron Mans go around doing his business for him.
All right, detachable and everything? Anything else?
Right there.
Like I said earlier, I focus more on the human component of designing the helmet, making it a smaller form factor, making sure you're not going to hit anything on it. It's got lights up front, cameras up front. That's all I've got.
All right, let's give him a round of applause. Team Stranger Danger, and actually does now fire spinning. That's kind of cool. That's the danger part. And for some reason, he likes to actually introduce himself to strangers. And so maybe he'll introduce himself to you a little later. Team Stranger Danger. All right, are you guys ready? Take it away.
Go for it. Fire it off.
Okay, so I designed the helmet, and it was inspired by the face mask from Avatar. And a couple of the design features are inspired by Halo as well. So we thought we would keep it quite minimal for like everyday use, just to appeal to everyone. And obviously you have a choice of colors as well.
Yeah, so first of all, excuse my horrible accent. So I was just trying to design a compact jetpack design that's also very futuristic and clean looking. Yeah, and I don't really think there's anything else to say about it since it's just a quick concept.
All right. Team Europe. All right. Last team.
I don't know how they're gonna.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Take it away.
All right, so for the jetpack, we were really going for something that was futuristic. And we were thinking futuristic, we had to have moving parts. So it sort of flares out and has these wings to it. And we wanted to make something that wasn't too heavy so you could walk around Mars without a big rocket pack on your back. So something nice and sleek, and that's what we made.
Awesome.
All right, any last comments? Any other tricks we want to know about?
Oh yeah, and we love decals, so we had to put decals on there. We love NASA. It's got to be white. This was inspired by The Martian, the movie, and yeah.
All right, so. Woo! All right, are we ready to vote?
I'm gonna slip on one of these gumballs.
All right, I'm gonna start here.
All right.
Team Europe,
Mickey.
let's get the votes. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. I don't know what this team is. What's your team name?
The
Dream Team.
The
Yeah,
Dream
okay.
Team.
Here we go. The Dream Team. 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, that sounded kind of the same. All right. Stranger Danger, go. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, I think so. All right, Stranger Danger wins. Nicely done. All right. And, all right, let's give a round of applause for everybody.
Big time. Big round of
Nicely
applause.
done.
Awesome.
Any last words? Any last thing we want to say? Anyone have a comment? Maybe things you guys struggled with? Raise your hand if you want to say, give a last struggle.
Anything that you guys struggled with? You think? Nothing? Noda?
Oh, no. What do you got?
Going smooth?
So building a model without being able to build any solid pieces was sort of difficult. We just had sketches to go off of, so I would build a sketch and accidentally constrain it to a solid part I already built and realize I messed up the whole thing and I had to start the process entirely over.
P-spline modeling under pressure is really difficult.
All right. So they're going to win a brand new HP mini workstation designed for CAD. That's pretty fun. We should track down whoever gets it. Maybe get these guys drinks or something. They're, you know, sad characters. Nicely done. Well done with the Fusion Design Slam. All right.
Awesome. For the people that did win a t-shirt, please join me over there. I'll have 27 more to hand out. They'll be $5 each. Bring cash to me only, and I'll take that and give it out to you. No, I'm just joking. Hopefully, whoever wants one, please come on over. We have limited sizes. We'll hand those out. Thanks again, guys, for coming.
Round of
Another
applause
year.
for Curtis. All right.
Round of applause for
Nice
Mickey,
job.
guys. Thank you.
All right, so what we're going to do now, though, is we're going to actually announce the winners, and this is the first time they've been announced for the first phase of Mars Home Planet. It's a global competition, and people submitted from around the world in different categories like infrastructure, engineering, science, design, transportation. But to actually do the announcement, we thought it might be a little bit more fun if we had an actual NASA astronaut come up on stage and help us do the announcement. So I'd like everyone to give a big round of applause for Yvonne Kegel. Yvonne, where are you at? Come on up. Applause-o-meter for Yvonne. No, I guess you're all right.
Meter.
All right, Yvonne.
All right.
Yvonne, what do you do? What are you working on?
Let's see, I'm working on rapid restoration for Mars. So we're all slated to go to Mars by way of the moon, but when we get there, you know, you get all the way there, don't want to come back. So if you're going to colonize and stay, you got to find a way to keep yourself fit and ready to go, and that's what I do.
So Yvonne's a flight surgeon, been a flight surgeon for a long time, and then became an astronaut. And now you've been working with the people in Space Station, and your goal is to be the first space surgeon on Mars.
Space surgeon, there you go.
Are there any other space surgeons right now?
I'm kind of the only space surgeon on Earth, and there's no competition off planet.
All right, so you got that going. If you're looking for future careers, come on.
Place. Space is the
space
place.
surgeon.
Oh, yeah.
That's not so bad. So Yvonne, you're going to help us introduce. This is going to actually be the announcement of the winners.
Woo!
For the HP Home Planet. This is the first phase. The first phase was sketching and ideating. It was all about concepts. The next phase, and it's going to be a worldwide challenge, is going to be actually about how do you design that stuff. And then the last one is how would we build it. So it's pretty exciting. This is the first phase. We're going to announce the winners tonight. One of the winners is actually here in the audience. The rest are out in the world. We're streaming this out to about 2 million people.
Hey, shout out.
That's pretty good. All right, let's shout out to the 2 million people out there.
Woo!
All right, so let's announce it. We're going to do a quick set of announcements of the winners now. At the end of the mixer, we're going to actually show a deep dive video. So stay tuned at the end of the mixer. You can actually learn more about all these winners. But we just want to give you a little bit of a tease. Yvonne, you're going to announce the first one, maybe.
All right.
Let's put them up.
Taste of Space. We got Kenny Livick. So let's give a round of applause for Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny. All right, Kenny. All right, so the thing is, there were 2 winners in infrastructure and 2 winners in transportation. So Kedak Wikasana, also from Indonesia, next winner. Let's give her a round of applause. All right.
All right, Xavier Albazu from Spain.
All right, from Spain. We've got transportation, Justin Carlo Pune from the Philippines. Let's give him a big round of applause. All right, what else we got?
Yifu Louis from Malaysia. Round of applause.
All right, innovation and engineering. Let's see who else. Jesus Velasco from Venezuela, innovation and architecture. All right, Jesus.
All right, and next we've got Lake Matthew Team, USA.
Innovation in science. All right, Lake Matthew. Jorge Moreno Ferrero from Colombia, innovation and design. So that was all about how do you think about the aesthetics and the way everything comes together in the future. All right, Jorge, let's give him a big round of applause.
There you go.
Come on, you can do better. Let me get, all right, it's better. All right.
Then,
and
hey,
finally,
that's mine. And we can do this. I can take you, you know, really.
No, I can totally, do. You think you can take me?
I can totally take
on.
you. Just got the jacket. I got the whole. All right, meter here. Jacket versus suit.
Who would
here.
win in a cage match? Yvonne?
Suit.
I didn't see it. It's barely. Nothing. All right, how about Mickey? Yeah, I heard that. All right. That's good. All right, take the last one. Take the last one.
Okay, innovation in engineering, special acknowledgement. We've got Jose Daniel Garcia Espinel, Spain.
All right, let's give him an applause. Woo! Come on, he's in the room. Give him applause. Where? Jose, raise your hand. Raise your hand. All right, Jose.
All right, and he's here tonight.
All right. Maybe introduce yourself to a stranger tonight and meet Jose. Jose, Oh, where's our microphone? Actually, I'm curious, Jose. Why did you enter this competition?
For me, it was a pleasure to do this thing because this is something that I prepare in my holidays, and my wife was a little bit upset about that, But I really enjoy, the competition because I was working with a young lady that was my daughter, 7 years old, and I really enjoy a lot, the time I spent with this competition.
All right.
So thank you very much.
So great,
Very
unbelievable. Nice. All right, Yvonne, let's give him a hand. You guys take his hand. I'm just like a guy. You're a NASA astronaut. Come over and. All right. Jose.
That's great, thank you.
Nicely done. Now, the deal with the innovation in engineering, it was a special acknowledgement that kind of looked at the holistic picture. Who pulled it all together across the entire thing? So this is a special acknowledgement. Really well done. Are you gonna enter the next phase of the competition?
I'm sure we're going to do something.
Yeah, you're gonna do something.
I'm sure of that.
Someone to watch out for. All right, let's give him a round of applause.
All right.
Nicely done.
Woo!
So Yvonne, stay on stage.
Okay.
Because what we're going to do now is a panel, then just mix, have fun, and then at the very end, we're going to show a deep dive video of the winners, so you learn a little bit more. Yvonne, have a seat, and I think we'll ask, hey, Herb, Mike, Robbie, and Matt, come on up.
Yeah, there we go.
Where you at? Come on up. Let's give them a round of applause. So this is an industry panel.
Let's do it. All right, let's do this. Aye.
Around the end.
All right, so I want to give you a sense of this. We got Matt Cooper from Coca-Cola.
You have the.
All right.
Are we supposed
We've
to
got
be
Robbie
order?
Halverson from Boston Scientific. All right, we got Mike. Mike is from Steelcase. Herb is from Pencil. Herb, where you at?
There you go.
All right. And Yvonne, yeah, whatever. Whatever. Okay, so here's the deal. These panelists have to convince students why you should ever work in space, or maybe in office space a little bit, or maybe in the body space for Boston Scientific, or maybe in the sneaker space and like building new kinds of footwear, things like that, or Coca-Cola, food, beverage, and all that. All right, so to do that, I could ask them questions, or we could ask some students to come up and ask questions.
Perfect.
So we've asked the students to come on up. Let's get
You're
some
right.
students
We're out
up
of
here.
order, aren't we?
Where are the students at? Who are going to ask the questions? Did we lose them?
They lost.
Come on up, come on up.
They're so good, they already took off. They already decided in space they're gone.
How many
They've
minutes we
launched.
got? Oh,
I
30
win.
minutes. Oh my goodness.
Come on
This
up.
is 15.
All right, I got no way to introduce you. I think we've seen you before. All right, Andrew's going to ask some questions. Anna's going to ask some questions as well. Lynn's going to ask some questions. Actually, tell us, I'm going to find my microphone. Tell us a little bit about where you're from before we do the questions. So, Andrew, we've messed around before in London trying to do generative design stuff. What are you doing now?
So I'm a mechanical designer. I've recently graduated from a place called New College, Lanarkshire in Glasgow, with a degree in mechanical engineering and also a degree in computer aided design.
Excellent. All right, Anna, where are you from and what are you focused on?
I'm Anna, I'm Portuguese. I study theoretical physics at King's College London, but I'm doing automotive engineering with Williams Racing, the British F1 team. So now I'm actually at the University of Chicago for a year abroad, but then I go back to London.
All right, Lynn, where are you from? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm from Arizona State University. I'm currently pursuing my master's in mechanical engineering. I earned my undergraduate degree in robotics engineering, and I'm focusing my studies on astrodynamics as well as Hyperloop development.
Lynn, actually, we've got you up. You have a question for the judges, for the panelists.
I do. What has been the most rewarding experience in your career, and what did you learn from that experience?
The most rewarding experience in your career, and what did you get out of this? Matt, tell us.
The most rewarding experience in my career thus far has been being selected to be a part of a collaborative design team at Coca-Cola that kind of goes after new business. So what we do is we've formulated this very agile design process. So you have your experts in graphics, in 3D and animation, in user experience design, and it's all led by one of our directors. So in one day, we are just coming up with as many prototypes, as many ideas as we can, and everybody is on the same page. We're out of our silos within the office. We come together and collaborate, and within 3 days, we create a deck that's then gone and presented to the potential client to try to get their business. So one of the big wins that we recently had was taking the business from Pepsi to get Golden Corral. And there's several other projects that are in the works right now going with that. But I think it was just being a part of a collaborative team where everybody comes together, comes up with an idea rapidly, and then creates a solution that solves a problem or gets us the business that helps grow the company. And being a part of that process has been really rewarding.
All right, Herb, tell us a little bit about like a big experience you had. How did it shape you?
So I think, can you guys hear me?
Can we get Herb's microphone on?
So for me, one of the most rewarding times was, having a former student reach out and letting us know what we did in terms of Pencil was introduce him to a career that can provide for his entire family. So there was a student from Australia. We flew him out for a class, and he had no idea what color and material design was. And he was coming from the footwear industry where he had his own footwear brand, but he never knew that his struggles from creating his own company would then lead into a career with Adidas. And so shortly after taking the class for us, he moved his entire family to the US, and it pretty much created sustainable income for him, for his entire family, and he was able to follow his dream in a completely different way than he never imagined.
Nice. So, Robbie, tell us a little bit about, how would you answer Lynn's question?
Yeah, so when I used to design pacemakers, a part of a team that did pacemaker design, every summer they would bring in patients for kind of a special day that we would sit down and hear their stories. And one year they came in, this father came in, and he said that his son had this congenital defect in the heart that the pacemaker was actually able to make him survive. But the irony is that he had an older son that actually died of that same genital defect. So the technology worked, saved his second son, and there was a presentation to the entire company, and I don't think there was a dry eye in the crowd. I'll never forget that.
Nice. So, just as a note, Robbie was at one of the mixers last night, and I learned that when he was about, 15 years old,
15, yep.
He submitted a design for a superhero to DC Comics, and it was called Worm Man. Pretty exciting. And if you mix with him during the mixer, you might be able to see the actual comic book, because they made it into a comic book. What was the name of the comic book?
I don't even remember the name of the comic book, but
it's like Dial
H
for Hero.
Yeah. And I'm really hoping he might show up in the Justice League movie.
So, Worm Man, pretty exciting.
Worm Man.
All right.
Worm Man.
I think I want to get one of the other students to ask a question. So Anna, ask a question. Let's see.
I want to know which skills do the employers in your field are looking for, but also how did those skills change from the time you entered your field and today when we might enter your field?
So why don't we ask you? Let's go on, Mike.
Okay. So what's different between now and back when I started? The skills that we're really looking for now are young, enthusiastic workers that want to work collaboratively in a fun environment. It's more of a campus-like environment. When I started, the skill sets were a little different. We were very independent. We worked as engineers. Design team worked over here. They were in silos. Now we've broken down those silos, and we're actually sitting together in team pods. So you have engineers, designers, marketing, finance, all working together to come up with the best products possible. So the skill sets that I see that are different is technology. Technology is driving so much into our products nowadays that we're really looking for individuals that grasp technology and want to drive it into our furniture.
Yvonne, what about you? What has changed since you went to school? What are you thinking about? What would you tell the students to pay attention to because of that?
Exactly. Well, when we first started out, space was all about being a destination. But now, space isn't just a destination, it's a demonstration platform for capabilities. So before, we would design to the capabilities that we could do, that we needed, but now our capabilities are driving design, and that's really exciting. But even more than that, the skill sets that we need now, certainly we'll always need aviation, but now we need robotics and coding and fusion and 3D printing and a lot of the very early hands-on skill of building and construction, the old blueprinting and schematics. So we're almost going back full circle and then attaching some solid rocket boosters or other modern day propulsion, maybe that jetpack, and we're really launching.
Does anyone else have an answer for Anna's question? Just, what has changed since you went to school that you look now and go, wow, that really changed? What about advice you'd have for the students?
Well, I would say one thing, and it's probably true of a lot of fields, is when I started out, you could kind of think of in terms of a career, like I'm going to do this job and I hope to do it for the rest of my life. And I don't think that's true anymore. I think you have to be much more aggressive about managing your career and just making sure you're on the path that you want to be on.
So, and Robbie, you mentioned to me that you worked for Boston Scientific in Minnesota, and then you came back to, you went to Silicon Valley, and you worked at A126, which is Amazon's secret lab that launched things, and you worked on the Echo, right? And then you went back and actually started working back on people again, like how do I actually build devices to help people at Boston Scientific. Yeah, so I mean, that's the kind of career. It's probably not going to be one or the other. It's going to be this, like, everything is a learning adventure. Andrew, what do you have? What kind of question do you have for the panelists?
So what I would like to know is, if you were in my position as a recent graduate, why would you break into the field that you're currently in?
I didn't hear that.
What was the question again?
Say the question one more time. It's a little hard when you're up here to hear what people are saying.
So if you were me right now, why would you try to break into the field that you're currently in?
So if you, I'm going to do the Scottish translation. It's just like Train Spotting. So, sorry.
That's all right.
If you were Andrew, why should he get into your field or your field? Why shouldn't he just double down on what Yvonne is doing, or maybe what's going on with Herb with the sneaker week and everything? Like, why? Tell him why he should go to where you're at. Who's got an answer?
Well, I'll take that one.
All right.
All right, so what's awesome about the CPG kind of landscape right now is that everything is starting to go digital. So how do you bring people back into brick and mortar retail spaces to purchase a Coca-Cola? And so what's great about it is now we're starting to have to think more about experience. So what's going to make me want to keep coming back to a grocery store to continue to purchase those things that can be easily purchased online? So it goes back to our past. So Coca-Cola, one of the first startups ever. It was a beverage started in a man's house that was then served at a pharmacy down the street. So you would go in and you'd have that communication with Soda Jerk, and there might only be 9 beverages poured in a day. But now there's 5 billion beverages poured in a day from Coca-Cola. And so with the ever-changing landscape, coming in with really creative ideas, being up to date with all the latest softwares, and being able to make a change and an impact in the overall experience of the consumers, I think is going to be really huge in the upcoming years.
Yeah. Hey, Yvonne, what about you?
Wow. Well, I can do anything that all of them can do, only better. Because you do it all in space. Drop the mic. You just can't beat that. There's nothing like space on Earth. So anything you dream, you think, you imagine, the best part is in space, there's nothing but space. There is no box. So anything is open to whatever you want to do.
All right, it seems like you're sort of saying, do not go into office space, do not go into the human body space of designing devices that go inside of you to help you.
But even
What do you guys say to that?
Even an astronaut needs shoes, though.
Even an astronaut needs shoes. I'm just
And
saying.
you need a chair to sit in.
All right, well,
all right, right there. That's already flawed. First of all, you don't need legs or shoes in space, okay? You just need that upper body interface there.
Oh, come on.
And you don't need a chair to sit in, and you absolutely don't even need a pillow. So really, all you need is your multiverse view of your mind's eye, and if you can imagine and dream the impossible, then anything is possible.
You also,
are you guys gonna let this stand?
So no.
You also need something to drink.
So at Steelcase here, we might not be able to send you to Mars or the moon, but we'll let you design the next chair that will make you feel like you're on the moon.
All right, all right.
No, hold on.
That's
Coca-Cola was
good, that's
actually the first beverage in space already, so we've already got that covered.
Oh, wow, this is getting real. Okay.
Yeah.
Bring it, come on. Anything else?
So Steve Jobs famously said to John Scully, trying to woo him to Apple, you know, do you want, and John Scully worked for Coca-Cola actually, or Pepsi, one of the two. And he told him, you know, do you want to sell soda, or do you want to sell sugar water for the rest of your life, or do you want to change the world? And he left. He came to Apple. To which I would say, do you want to help people make selfies, or do you want to save lives?
All right, selfies versus save lives. Herb, do you have something?
That's a good one.
Mic
That's
working?
a good one.
Yeah, my mic works. I mean,
All right. Anything else?
I think I already.
Yeah.
So, you know, for me, everyone has shoes. Not everyone's going to go to space. So, I mean, if you really want to make an impact and be able to, you know, I like to use product to tell a story. So if you want to be able to tell a story to everyone's day-to-day life, then yeah, I would definitely look into footwear design.
All right, all right.
Good, very
Do you guys have a last question? Some last thing you want to ask that we haven't gotten a chance to ask, and then we're going to jump to the mixer. You got something?
Can you just share some of the pros and cons of working in your particular field?
Pros and cons from your particular field. Who's got something?
Cons, gravity.
Gravity. So, Yvonne, you were telling me that, like, your muscles waste away pretty quick.
Yeah.
What have you been seeing with the space station?
Wow, well, the longer that we're on space station and we're deprived of gravity, then we don't have the resistance to keep our body strong, conditioned, keep our exercise tolerance, our bones even start to demineralize or soften. That's what I think is really exciting about space, because if we didn't have that tech pull for space, we wouldn't know the potential, the capacity of the human resiliency. And the human body is incredibly it has a lot of plasticity. So if we change the environment that the body is seeing in space, we can actually accelerate healing from injury and amplify our reconditioning. But what makes that so important is the things that we learn in space, we can bring back here to Earth to actually help save lives, transform lives. Not everybody can go to space, but we can certainly make Earth exploration something that can improve our lives, our environment, and our quality.
So that's a challenge, right? That's just a different scenario. It's trying to kill you out there, and it's just a different thing. We've evolved for Earth. What about other challenges in your industry? Anyone want to answer her question? Just things that you see, if I were going to get, as a student, into your field, what are some stumbling blocks? What are some places where something might not work out, or you've noticed in your industry?
So for Steelcase here, the environment's constantly changing. So we're always looking for a better way to do work, and with technology, it's forcing us to change how we work. So our environment's constantly changing. So that's a good thing, because you're always going to be looking for that next innovative product. The con is everybody wants it tomorrow, and you never have enough time.
In the medical device world, it's always at the cutting edge of technology, always trying to leverage new ideas and new technologies. So that's always exciting, and really why I'm in that space. On the con side, there's a lot of regulatory influence And if you don't have the kind of personality that to kind of put up with time and due diligence, a lot of paperwork, red tape, it might not be for you.
Anyone else got something?
Yeah, I'll say, so first off, the pros of working for a CPG brand, you know.
CPG is consumer packaged goods?
Yeah. So for Coca-Cola, since we are worldwide, we oftentimes are sponsoring events all over the world. So, you know, Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, FIFA World Cup, we have certain celebrities that are going to be featured on like packaging and in the commercials and stuff. So having all those different areas that then design can kind of influence is really a rewarding experience because it helps you grow as an individual, getting to see, you know, and different things that can be designed in different areas and sort of what is kind of tailored to certain regions in the world. I would say a con though for, or not a con, but a challenge for Coca-Cola is since we're not like a car company that comes out with new models, new brands, new features, every year, and we have some of the same packaging, the same products coming out every year. Our challenge is along the lines of coming up with new markets, or new ways of getting into the market and very compelling marketing campaigns. Additionally, I would say that some of that challenge that comes up then is, you know, how do we constantly stay relevant? And how do we leverage some of our past histories, so some of the things that may have worked back in the 60s and 70s, and bring that back into the future and make it relevant again.
All right, well, you got the last word. What do you have?
Yeah. So I would say the pros of entering the footwear industry, I think, is that a lot of people don't think of it as, okay, you can get into marketing, you can get into research and development, where you explore like different sides of engineering. You can get into innovation, you can get into color and materials. So I think the pros is that it's not super limited to one sector and saying, okay, I just need to focus on product. I think there's plenty of options for you to explore. But the con, I would say, is when you're associated with footwear, everybody wants a pair of free shoes. So
everyone needs something.
That's like the hardest thing to say no.
Actually, I want to point out, are there any students in the crowd? Can you raise your hand if you're a student? Raise your hand. All right, everyone look around and go have a conversation with one of the students. And students, make sure that you talk to everybody here. What's really interesting is Matt told me that when he was in school, he met somebody from Coca-Cola, networked with them on LinkedIn, but didn't actually get a job at Coca-Cola for a while. 4 years later, starts to actually, apply for one job at Coca-Cola. The woman remembers him and actually brings him in for a different job. So he ends up doing this. So I think networking is going to be kind of an important thing. The people you meet today, it might be 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, but it might be really nice to think about this as a journey. Right, so get out there. We're going to jump to the mixer. I want a big round of applause for the panelists and the students. Nice job, everybody.
Good job.
And last thing I want to point out, there are now sliders. If you're hungry, eat the sliders, network and hang out. And we're going to go out to the mixer now. At the end of the mixer, we're going to show a deep dive video from HP. Thank you, HP, as sponsors of this whole thing. Let's give them a big round of applause. Stay for the deep dive video of the winners, and then you're going to go forth and check out all the parties tonight. All right, thanks a lot, everybody.
Wait a minute, who won? All right, who won?
Unfair advantage. Yeah.
Who won? Oh, who won here? Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Quick, applause-o-meter.
Where are they
Which
going?
industry would you go into? 3, 2, 1.
Space for
Applause.
all.
All right. Come on, steel case, applause-o-meter.
I think I would.
Come on, Robbie.
Everybody wants to be an astronaut.
I think everyone's eating sliders. All right, Herb, who would go for? All right, Herb. All right, Matt. Coca-Cola. All right. I don't know. It feels like it's an individual choice.
We're a toss-up.
All right, why don't you guys litigate this over there? I need you off the stage.
All right.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
That's great.
Thank you.
Have fun.